Let's begin with question number 1. Okay, let's read and move it to whiteboard plus. Find the value of the coefficient of 1 over x in the expansion of blah, blah, blah. Okay, that thing there. Okay, how do we do this? So the general idea of the term, the nth term, is something like this, okay? Which is, let's say we say n choose r, and then 2x power of r, and then negative 1 over x n minus r. Okay, this can be interchanged. Interchange means the nth term, depending on how we write, you can, the rth term, the nth term. The rth term can be written the other way around as well. Okay, so the rth term, for example, like this, or you can be in the reverse order, depending on how we think. But normally we want to label the x to the power of r, this part, as the rth term. So that's why we choose this hierarchy. Okay, now let's just try to simplify this a little bit. So that means this becomes, this is just the NCR. You can write it like that, or NCR like that. And then here, this is 2 to the power of r, x to the power of r. Ta-da! Both the things are there. Then in this case, this is negative 1 power of n minus r over x to the power of n minus r. So these are two things left. Okay, so then we can like kind of combine it further. So NCR, because it's an extra power of r here, so this one extra power something. So let's combine the totals. So this becomes 2 to the power of r. And then when you combine that part, it becomes x to the power of something like r minus n plus r. Minus minus is plus, plus take note. And then here we still have this negative 1 thingy, power of n minus r, accordingly. Okay, let's reorder these terms. So negative 1 power of n minus r. If you can put a multiply, also can. If we leave it like that, also can. Okay. And then this is times 2 to the power of r. And then this part becomes x to the power of 2r. R plus r is 2r minus n. Okay, so being that said, now this all this being set up like this, generally, just the coefficient of the rth term in, I didn't mention very clearly, sorry, if it would have been 2x minus 1 over x to the power of n. Okay, it's the n. So in our case, the n here, so I did a more general term. So now let's link these things together. It's this part. So we choose the n equals to 5. So I'm just going to do it here with n equals to 5. What does it become? Just reduces to the rth term will be, so let's get the general formula. The rth term equals to negative 1. Okay, let's think and see. Negative 1. Let's just copy and just change the n to a 5. So this becomes 5CR. And then times 2 to the power of r. And then times x to the power of 2r minus 5. So we do it like this. So now, being that said, now we got the structure for the rth term of this sequence. We want the coefficient of 1 over x. See, this 1 over x, we put a comma here, is equals to x to the power of negative 1. That means equating it, equating which parts? These two. So we put an arrow for that. So we have 2r minus 5 equals to negative 1. So we need to solve for this. So 2r equals to 4, or r equals to 2. 4 because 5 minus 1. Huh? So r is 2 actually. So let's put r equals to 2 into this one. So put r equals to 2. So in my order is the second term. But in some solutions, you may see it as a third term. Depends, I said, how you order your labeling, just in reverse. That doesn't matter, but it'll yield the same answer for the coefficient. So second term in full looks like this now. So let's put the r equals to 2 to do that. So negative 1, I'm just giving a more fuller scope of reasoning. So in case there's something else we need to do with this formula, you can understand how to do that. So times 2 square, and then multiply by x to the power of 2 times 2 minus 5. Aha. So when we write it, now just simplify each of it, please. So it's a -1 power of 3 is just -1. Then 5c2, just going to write it first. 5c2, we can use, okay, write 5c2 first. And the 2 square is just 4 first. Because just want to show that this part, this is the 1 over x. You'll notice that? This x to the power of -1, 4 minus 5, -1. So 1 over x. So the coefficient means we skip everything and only choose the term without the 1 over x. So the coefficient of 1 over x is like the constant in front of that. It's the meaning of coefficient is from here up to here. So this is the number they want. Oh, that means we just multiply. -1, the 5c2. All this just use calculator. If you're not sure, please use calculator to avoid the mistake. So when you times by 4, we get the final answer as -1 times 5c2 times 4. So the answer is -40 is the answer. Ta-da! Okay, thank you.